Pitch Whisperer Day, guys. Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
money.
Let's get to the
money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the ass screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty K of 4 units getting played, always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scary money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-Prop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the ass screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies. The motherfucking monies, then. Shout out to you guys. Welcome to the Balking Dead, where there is no sleep for the fucking wicked. This show is still sponsored by Prize Picks, so go on over there if you haven't. Use promo code PUBSPORTS. Why? Your first match deposit up to $100, they got you. It's not just that, guys. It's like saying thank you, Sharpie. Thank you for putting money in my pocket. So if you can, if you already have, I appreciate it. Go use your fucking wipes if you haven't. And yeah, do me a favor, use that promo code. It's like saying thank you a million fucking times. And it's like saying thank you to the guy that I had to bring on today. We got 6 fucking K-props and none other better than my guy, Christopher fucking Gargaro, the spin doctor.
What's up?
How are you doing today, my guy?
I am doing good. I'm doing good. It is hot as shit in Minnesota right now and humid as shit. So I want nothing more than to just by the way, doesn't my background look very Minnesotan to you? I would love nothing more than to sit in my nice little air conditioned office and talk some baseball and talk some money.
I'm glad you get to sit in air conditioning. I'm so ghetto that I run this shit off my phone and cannot use a fan in this 100-degree weather I sit in. So as soon as I go off live, I'm like, oh. But y'all ain't here to talk about us or to hear how we're doing. Y'all are here to hear our fucking opinions. So smash the like if you haven't, and let's talk a little baseball. First guy up on the board we're going to talk about is Chris fucking Bassitt. K-props at 6+ at -110. He's averaging 6.1 over his last 8 and 6.5 over his last 10, and they're giving us a 6. Is that not an alarm bell right there? They're giving you a number less than a man's average. That's always something to me that tells me I need to fucking dig into this shit, because that's not what they fucking do. They're always going to give you a guy's average, and they may add one, but to take one back, that to me screams trap just straight off the bat. So then I'm going to dig into it. On Prize Picks, it's at 5.5, and his fantasy score's at 38.5. When I dig into his math, he's striking out 9.53 per 9 at home and only 8.8 on the road. He is on the road here, and he does strike out 10.1 lefties per 9 compared to just 9.2 righties per 9, and they're projecting 5 left-handed and 4 right-handed. I get it, guys. He is going up against the Nationals. This is a team we've had to think about. But this is not the Nationals that we've thought about all fucking year long. They're missing Juan fucking Soto. That dude is good for a 10 to 15 pitch at bat every fucking game and will murder your K-prop. Him alone will murder your K-prop. So that the way we've thought about Washington this whole time, we maybe need to start looking at the Padres like that. They already were a team who really didn't strike out all the fucking time, and now you're going to put one of the most patient hitters on the planet on that team. Padres guys are going to be a team not going to be fun, in my opinion, running K-props versus, but we're not playing them right now. We're going up against Who? The Nationals. And over the last 15 days, they're walking 7.5%, striking out 22% with a 219 average and a 641 OPS and an ISO of a 136. He's had 6+ Ks in 7 of his last 10 games, the 3 games being versus a Miami team, the second and third time he faced them, and 18 days later. Well, I was actually on him that 18 days later, and he looked like ass, but he still got through the game, pitched well with his shit not being there. And when a pitcher can still give you 6 innings and not have his shit with them, that's still a quality pitcher, guys. You're not going to have your shit every day. I'm just hearing red flags left and right. Chris, can you tell me why I'm not looking at this? Because it's like, fuck, he averages 6 in his fucking sleep, bro.
Yep, I hear you. Agree with everything you said, Sharpie. There are so many conflicting factors here. Whenever I look for a K prop, whether it be an under or an over, I always look for correlating factors, meaning if a team that doesn't swing much out of the strike zone for a pitcher that throws a lot of pitches out of the strike zone, that might be a lead to an under, so on and so forth. Everything I see here just contradicts everything. You have Bassitt, who's a 16th percentile chase rate, so it doesn't get guys to chase very often, and when they do, they make above MLB average contact. So you would think that would lead to an under. To your point, though, he has great strikeout history recently, with the exception of the Marlins, which was the second time facing that, or actually it was his 4th time facing them in like a month. So a high expected pitch count. You can probably expect him to pitch between 90 and 100. So yeah, so like why is this number only a 6? Part of the reason I think too is because so the Nats over the last I think it's since the All-Star break against right-handed pitching, only 21.8% strikeout percentage. But to your point, that was with Juan Soto. So when I look at the Nationals lineup today, I kind of think of the scene from Major League where the construction guys are reading the newspaper and they're like, who are these fucking guys, right? So you have Cesar Hernandez, fine, but then you have Damaro Vargas, you have Josh I can't say his name, Palacios, you have Joey Meneses, you have multiple guys that they just called up from AAA to facilitate these trades. So this is one where I honestly could see it going either way. I think if you're gonna play it, given the lineup that the Nats are throwing out there, especially with no Bell and no Soto, who are the 2 guys, like you said, that would just rack up pitches and rack up pitch counts. If you're gonna play it, you probably got to play the over. I just don't know. I really don't know what to do with this one. I honestly don't. I can see either side hitting.
And at the end of the day, I preach on this show, I don't bet ifs, guys. If it was a 5th, we'd all be drunk. If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. Well, nowadays, your aunt might have balls, but not on this fucking show, guys. I ain't betting ifs, and I lean the over, but like I said, I don't bet just my leans. It's a lean, guys. At the end of the day, there's something in my stomach fucking bothering me. And I might be right and I might be wrong, and this is a learning experience for me. At the end of the day, you could learn a lot of shit from a game. You don't have to have your fucking money on it. But if you do, like I said, I lean the over like my guy does. Now let's talk about the over. Like, I know you've been on this guy's over the last few times. The Sandy Man can. Sandy Alcantara, Iron fucking Man himself. The guy who broke Jacob deGrom's record for going multiple starts, 7+ innings in the last 20 years. He went how many? A whole fuckload. 13 straight games, guys, 7+ innings. He hasn't done that the last 2, though, but let's get into it. This is one of those things where they're not giving us his average either. Over the last 6 games, he's averaging 7.3. They're giving us that average. Over the last 8, he's averaging 7, and over the last 10, it's a 6.7 strikeouts per game. Well, they have him at 8+ at +124, and when I do the math, same home road per strikeouts per 9, about 8.5, and he does dominate the right-handed side a lot more than the left-handed side with a 9.29 K per 9 compared to just a 7.8 from the left-handed side. Before I get into my shit and my black book and my numbers, I'm gonna let you speak a little bit before I don't want to just poison people's minds. I may have something the same to say, I may not. We don't know this because we don't fucking talk about it beforehand. Because that's how you get the best fucking shit live. So, what you got on Mr. Sandy Man?
First of all, I fucking love Sandy. I love watching him pitch. Love watching his pitch mix, love watching the way he approaches a start, about how he can still rack up strikeouts but go deep into a start. You have some pitchers who they might strike a lot of guys out, like Christian Javier would be a good example. However, they throw their fucking arm out by the 5th inning because they're throwing so many pitches and they're wild and whatever. Sandy just knows how to manage a game. And so if he needs to get a strikeout, he can run it up to 100 and get a strikeout, or throw wicked breaking shit to get a strikeout. If he needs to, he can pitch to contact and make guys make weak or soft contact, put it into play. And so he can go 7, 8 innings every single start. Here's what I see. So the official lineup has been released for the Reds for this one, and they have 5 righties, 3 lefties, 1 switch hitter who I presume would bat left-handed, at least if you want to avoid striking out against Sandy. So right-handed batters for Sandy at home, striking out 27.1% of the time. Left-handed batters only 21.2% of the time. We also get a favorable umpire behind the plate in Tripp Gibson. He's a pitcher's umpire. His strikeout percentage is over what the MLB average for umpires is. And if you look at games for starting pitchers for him, he averages about a 7%-ish, somewhere in that range, boost to what the normal strikeouts for that pitcher are. So when I use umpires, guys, I don't use it as the be-all, end-all decider. I use it as a tiebreaker. So, but for this one, with just the utter rate that the Reds have been striking out lately, this is absolutely over or nothing. There is no world where I can take, the Reds to me are like the Pirates. They're like the Angels. They're like the Rangers in most cases. Like, it's over or nothing. So perfectly fine passing here, but the only value for this one for me would be on the over, or you can pass. Under is just not an option here.
I can't bet unders because I tell everybody I don't bet unders. That just ain't for me. The worst thing that happened for me is to bet an under and watch some guy have the best day of his life and take money from me and my family. Like, I've learned to bet unders on women's basketball because I will cheer every time they miss and have a blast because they miss a whole lot. I don't want to cheer when a guy doesn't strike somebody out. I'm supposed to be happy? No. I'm that guy who goes to baseball games. I am a fanatic. At the end of the day, fan was shortened for fanatic. I go there to see a no-hitter, guys. I will fucking leave a baseball game as soon as the no-hitter's gone. Like, at the end of the day, if we're not at the fucking World Series or a playoff game, that baseball game means shit. I'm there to see a fucking no-hitter, and then I'll be able to die happily. So until that day happens, that's what I'm doing at a game. But you already brought it up with the Sandy man. And smash the fucking like if you haven't. Only 16 likes with over 40-something live? Y'all must fucking hate me like my father did. Left for a loaf of bread at 2 and never came back. I've been winning y'all too much money not to be hating me like my daddy did. So let's get into what I have on the number 8 person in my black book. After 13 straight games, 7+, he hasn't hit that his last 2 games, like I said earlier. And like how Chris brought up earlier, this guy will pitch to contact. He will pitch for the strikeout when needed. When you have a runner on second and third base, that's when you do need the strikeout. And when you have a runner on first, you tend to go for a double play type ball. Like, he's a fucking ace, guys. At the end of the day, there's very few breeds of pitchers like him in baseball, guys. He's going to go deep every fucking game, and he's not looking for the punchies, but yet he can still get them. The secret number, and it's hard for me to pull up numbers in my black book knowing that teams are trading everybody. And Brandon Drury being traded to the Padres is a way bigger fucking signing than what nobody's fucking talking about. Everyone's talking about Hader. Everyone's talking about Soto. Everyone's talking about Bell. What about the guy who's number 2 behind Paul Goldschmidt and hitting breaking balls OPS on the year at a 900+? Brandon fucking Drury, guys. Like, they've stacked this team. It's now or never with them, and they're beasting it. So what up, Jacksonville Zoe? Let's get to the fucking money today. And what I'm noticing with the number and Sandy, and you brought it up, is the whiff percentage. That's when we can take advantage because he attacks the zone. He's looking to go deep, and he's looking for that weak contact. If you're whiffing at a crazy rate, he's pitching you in the zone. You're just fucking missing. Teams like the Pirates, teams like the Angels, these are games where this guy's got 10+. Those are the games where I look to attack him. When I look at this team's whiff percentage, they're about league average. They're the chase rate type. This team is the chasing type. So Sandy might go fucking 8-9 innings and have 4 strikeouts, guys, and that's why I'm going to be off it. Yes, there are some people missing. It's not the same numbers going off of when you are missing one of your better bats, but this guy ain't looking for the strikeouts, and this team loves the chase. So the whiff percentage will keep me off of Sandy right here. And like I said, I don't bet unders. This guy can still have a lot of strikeouts. It is the Reds, so
yeah,
it is what it is.
No, I totally agree with you there. Since the All-Star break, the Reds are they are bottom half in chasing pitches outside of the zone, but they are top half in contact in the zone. So if you're Sandy Alcantara and you're going to throw a bunch of pitches in the zone, like you said, to contact, Reds, like I said, just about average contact with this. So for me, when I look at this number, I think it's set pretty well perfect. I think it's juiced pretty well perfect. I hate giving the bookies credit for anything because fuck them, like your show says. However, when they do set good lines, I will
politely respect them, bro. At the end of the day, you tip your hat and go. I thought they added one extra because of the team they're facing, and I get it. So I think they're right on that line, bro. Like he could have those. Or he could have one of those Max Fried type games where he goes 9, only has 4 or 5 strikeouts, and the pitch counts under 100. Like, that's the game he does want at the end of the day. Yep. He does want that. So let's talk about one guy. They're not even offering props, but he's an ace in my opinion, and I've got to talk about him. Freddy fucking Peralta, guys. He is a guy that eventually will be bet on. And what do I need to see and what do I preach on in this show? I just want to see you back in 5 days. I don't care if you get the living dog shit pounded out of you. I don't care if nothing. I don't care if you have the best game of your life today. What I want to see is you healthy and make your next start. That to me is the fucking golden ticket in my eyes betting a K-prop. There's very few guys I will bet off the IL. I got sneaky with DeGrom, and I still got kicked in the fucking balls. Thought I was cute taking them 6+ in the Mets to win at -150 yesterday. Oh, they do the same thing they do every year and just don't give fucking Jacob DeGrom run support, dude. Now, was I mad at the end of the day? No, because this is what's caught on with the Mets since Jacob DeGrom's been on Jacob DeGrom. So I just got Jacob DeGrom at the end of the day, bro. And I didn't even take it up to 7. I knew to be safe. I knew the pitch count shit is real, and that's why they're not going to offer you shit on Freddy Peralta, guys. He only threw 52 pitches his last time out in a minor league start, so he's probably not going past that 60 to 70. The Milwaukee pin has been bottom 5, guys, over the last 30 days. So if you're looking at some hitting props, maybe this may be the game, guys. Those Pirates may be a sneaky play today with a guy not going more than 4 innings of work, maybe 5, but Freddy Peralta hasn't pitched in the big league since May 22nd, and he struggled at first, started to find it, and then got hurt again. So at what time will he be bet on? I think it's great that he missed this point. He is a guy who hasn't pitched many innings in his career, so the less innings on him in the year, the better. So that's something I just want to see the guy healthy. At the end of the day, if you're ready to go in 5 days, I could then look to bet on you. But still, your pitch count won't be at enough to bet on you. But that's what I'm looking at with Freddy Peralta. Are you looking at anything on him or any words to say on Fast Freddy?
Yeah, first of all, it's nice to see him back. I like his stuff, and I like him a lot. So I did see Rocco posted that Bovado was offering over 4.5 at +112. DK had something very similar. And so with the Pirates, with how much they chase, with the fact that they basically have like a AAA team in Ke'Bryan Hayes every time out, betting on an under for them is just not an option. So y'all know that I do unders, and I have this thing that I call no under island, which is teams where I don't give a damn who the pitcher is. I don't care what the circumstances are. I will not bet an under. I don't even look at it. And the Pirates are one of those teams. Pirates, Angels, and for the most part, the Rangers, and in most cases, the Reds. So, but anyways, with Peralta,
real quick, Angels have been turning it around though a little bit, man.
They've started to.
But back to Peralta.
Yep. So you talked about his second rehab start. He's only threw a combined 5 1/3 innings and 85 total pitches in both rehab starts. Most of the stuff that I've seen estimate he'll throw between 55 to 70 pitches today. Could that hit the over? It's the Pirates, so yeah, it always could. However, without knowing, I mean, you hear shit from the team about, oh, he looks great, he's ready to get back out there. Well, what are they going to say? He looks like shit and he lost zip on his fastball? No, they're never going to say that. So that's why I think a wait and see approach would 100% be the right play here. Just wait one start. Okay. Wait one start, because next game, if it's anything related to a few of the other starters that have had injuries this year and then come back after a little bit longer layoff, like Nathan Eovaldi would be one. And there's a few others where they threw 55 to 65 in their first start. They went into the 65 to 80, 85 in their next one. And by the third start, they were back to their normal pitch allotment. My assumption is Peralta would follow the exact same thing here. The only thing that makes me think they might try to squeeze an extra inning out of them is that the Brewers bullpen the last few days has been, I would say, moderately used, and they play again tomorrow. So, however, I still think that they're going to protect their guy. They're in a playoff chase right now. They're going to protect him. 4 innings max for me is how much he goes.
Yeah. I can't bet on nobody that's coming off the IL. There's only 2 people, and that's Max Scherzer and Verlander. And they've made me lots of money in the past coming off the IL, and they usually go 90 pitches in their minor league starts coming in. They know when they're ready. They're not going to come into the big leagues to get sauced and beat up and let their ERA get fucked. They'll get beat down in the minors until they're ready to come up, and then they're going to come up. So definitely Freddy Peralta is a wait and see. We have 3 more K props to talk about. At the end of the day, 3 more. And that shout out to my fucking producer, Big Show. Rest in peace, Vince Scully. At the end of the day, guys, he's the greatest to ever do it. And just mad respect to all the fucking announcers out there that's been giving their fucking credit where the credit's due to the man, the myth, the legend. I'm glad my kids have got to listen to you and grew up watching you. Fuck me, I'm glad my kids got to see it. At the end of the day, I get goosebumps just hearing stories or hearing him speak. And yeah. But we get to talk about the other side of LA, guys, and that's Shohei motherfucking Ohtani. It's showtime, guys. And they didn't trade him, and I didn't think they were. I think that's going to come in the winter meetings, guys. But the Angels are going to have to unload. They're going to have to just rethink their fucking shit. Mike Trout taking that much money and going to be a DH that time. Like, God damn, this is the worst thing that could happen to the Angels. But not the worst by having probably the best player in baseball, guys, because you should be able to get a overhaul for what this man can do on both sides of the plate. And what he's doing pitching, guys, it's what he did in Japan, guys, and it just might have took him a little extra time to get comfortable over here. But this guy was that dude in Japan, and he's that dude now, guys. And it's at 9+ minus 118. When do you see a 9+ and minus at juiced value, guys? Like, what? Well, when I go back through his 6, 8, 10, he's averaging 11.3 his last 6, 10 his last 8, and 9.3 his last 10. So, yeah, they're giving you the man's fucking average, bro. At the end of the day, no alarm bells going there. So when I run through it on Prize Picks, he's 8.5. His fantasy score is 45.5. And when I do the math on him, he strikes out 13.47 per 9 at home and 12.8 on the road and 12.94 strikeouts per 9 versus the left-handed side and a 13.5 versus righties. So the guy dominates both sides of the plate. Doesn't fucking matter what type of lineup. Projected lineup is 6 right-handers and 3 left-handers. Even fucking better. He hasn't seen the A's this year. Another fucking plus. This guy's a man on a fucking mission. He's going up against the team, walking 7%, striking 23% of the time with a 256 average and an 809 OPS and an ISO of 242. They're fucking hitting, guys. At the end of the day, the A's have been raking righties over the last 200 plate appearances. Now, this ain't no everyday righty, and I will preach to you good pitching beats good hitting every day of the fucking week. And this guy is on a fucking tear. Other than the Braves game, he's given up 4 runs over his last 7 starts, guys. Like, this guy has been elite. His ERA is better at home, and he gets a team that, well, last year he pitched versus them 3 times. He had 10 Ks one time, 8 Ks one time, 5 Ks the first time, 5 Ks with the 4 walks. That guy last year, a lot of the times was his control issues. It was control. Well, this year, he seemed to figure this shit out, guys. And he's been nothing but bet on. I haven't bet the over. There's no way would I look at the under. And I don't know what's just keeping me off at the end of the day. I just know that number's high, but I believe it should be high for a reason. Are you looking at anything on him? Are you on him at all?
Well, so with Ohtani, there's just a few extra notes for me. So I'll take everybody back to June 2nd. And on June 2nd, Ohtani started at Yankee Stadium, 3 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, racked up his pitch count, just looked like a total disaster. What happened after that start? Well, he switched to using pitch count. And so there were a whole bunch of reports about how they thought he was tipping his pitches, specifically his cutter, specifically his breaking stuff. So he switched to PitchCom. He had 1 or 2 starts to get used to it. And what's happened since then? Strikeouts per game, 13, 11, 10, 12, 11, 11. It's otherworldly. And so when I look at a pitcher like Shohei Ohtani and what he's doing right now, this is an over or nothing spot. Betting on an under prop, even though the A's actually have been pretty good against righties, like you mentioned, betting on an under for Shohei Ohtani at this point just is not an option. So if you're going to do it, I would probably rather try to get the plus money payout and just take 10 plus versus trying to pay juice for 9 strikeouts. Because to your point, Sharpie, 9 strikeouts is a lot. But if there's any pitcher who's going right now that can just do it on a regular basis, it is Shohei Ohtani. Since the All-Star break, or I'm sorry, not since the All-Star break, but against right-handed batters, left-handed batters, at home, 38.8% against lefties, 38.1% against righties. You have an umpire that should not factor into this game here. And you have Ohtani with the A's projected lineup of a strikeout percentage of 35.5. Now, that's with limited sample size, but the point remains. So for this one, if you're going to do it, if you're going to bet this one, I have not done it yet. I don't know if I'm going to. I would just take the 10 plus and try to take a flyer on it. So
hey, someone got some volume playing in the background. All right, it stopped. But yeah, definitely. I haven't bet him either. It's either over or pass. There's no way in hell are you catching me running into this freight train of Shohei Ohtani right now. And definitely thanks for the info on the PitchCom. I did not have that. And you can learn shit every day, guys, at the end of the day. So what I do know, and I'm going to give you some information. Yankee Stadium. This guy's going to get his ass kicked at Yankee Stadium every time he plays there. There's a reason why he didn't sign with the Yankees. There's a reason why he will never go to a big market, fucking guys. He is not a diamond, even though he looks like one. This guy is a pipe. And what I mean by that is pressure makes diamonds or bust pipes. He can't pitch under pressure. New York is number 1 in Japanese media, guys. His worst 2 games are in New York Stadium, where 2-3 days he's in front of a microphone all fucking day. Questions. This guy don't want to be talked to like that, guys. So I've learned to fade him when he goes into big markets with the Japanese media, guys. So the guy doesn't like pressure. He needs to be on a team like the Angels to produce, guys. So you've read to me every reason why to play is over today, especially the PitchCom. At the end of the day, he's averaging over 10 every game since the PitchCom. I was doing the average when you read off those numbers in my head, bro, and nothing was less than 10. So, yeah, definitely going to be on him some which way or type. We've now got 2 guys to talk about left, and I know you like to talk about this guy. Like, I fucking hate him. When I fucking told you the 6 pitchers we were going to talk about, you fucking doing what you're doing now. You fucking laugh. You're like, you motherfucker. You know I hate him. So we're going to talk about it. Shout out to the chat over 60 live. Smash the fucking like if you haven't. And let's talk about Blake Snell. I fucking hate this guy. He's at 7+ minus 114. He's averaging 7.3 over his last 6, 8. He's averaging 7 over his last 8 and 6.6 over his last 10. Price Picks has him at a 6.5. And his fantasy scores at a 38.5. This guy does average 10.9 strikeouts at home compared to a 12.21 on the road, and dominates the left-handed side compared to the right-handed side with a 10.78 K per 9 versus lefties and a 7.9 versus righties. Projected lineup for the Rockies is 8 right-handers and 1 lefty, but still, let's get a little deeper into it. He's a tale of two guys at the end of the day, guys. He's either a fucking ace or he's going to suck dick under a bridge for milk money and he's lactose intolerant. Now, it's trying to figure out when he is that guy. And I preach on this show all the fucking time that I'm going to ball my cats. That's what happens when you throw shit in my house, bro. Hoorah! But, yeah. I'm going to fucking get into Blake Snell and tell you, like, I can't bet this guy. He quit on me versus the Rockies last time out. I cannot bet on a guy who quits on me. And I seen this guy throw 3 straight fucking batters, 12 pitches, nowhere near the fucking strike zone, looking at his manager to pull him every fucking pitch. And the manager said, fuck you, Blake Snell. You're going to fucking take this on your chin right now, you little bitch. And he can be a little bitch at times, guys, but at the end of the day, the dude has elite fucking shit. Like he's just a bobblehead, guys. He's just in his own self so fucking much. And now he gets the 4th time seeing the Rockies. The 4th time this year seeing the Rockies. Well, when I dig into it and I look at the black book and I run up his numbers, well, they're walking 3.8% over the last 200 at-bats, striking out 20.9 with a 241 average and a 669 OPS and an ISO of a 144. He's ran up versus these numbers before, and he only had 5 and 5. So there's shit telling me right here like, uh-oh. But then you look at him at home versus them where he had 7. Why are they giving you 7+ at juiced value when this guy just had 5? And I granted it was in Colorado, but the dude's shown he can strike people out in Colorado before. So I'm not worried about that with him in Colorado. Like, the dude just shit the bed and quit in Colorado last time out when he was 1 strikeout away from hitting it. I was on him at 5.5. The fucker shit on me at 5. So can he hit his K prop? Yes. This fool is the type to where I'd either suggest laddering him or just betting his under. Like, and I don't bet unders, but he's the type to either just fucking smash his prop or just sit there and not get it. Like, he's just a head case. I haven't been able to figure out Blake Snell, and you do have a decent read on him. What's your read on him today, Mr. Gargaro?
Yeah, so the Blake Snell experience is what I call every time he gets on the bump. Because whether you bet on him, whether you bet against him, whether you bet both, it doesn't fucking matter, is that it's always going to be a wild ride. It's always going to be a sweat. And there will be at least 3 times during every start where whether you bet his over, his under, his over runs or runs allowed under, whatever you bet on Blake Snell, he will always make you sweat no matter what side. It is inevitable. So here's a few things about Blake Snell that I've come to learn have been pretty consistent. So the first one is, when he gets strike 1 on a hitter, first pitch strike, he is lethal. His pitch mix, because he can run his fastball up in the high 90s. He's got that wicked curve. He can just slice through guys. First this season, first on an 0-1 after getting an 0-1 count, 38.6% K percentage. After getting a 1-0 count, so after missing on the first pitch, 22.4, sorry. After getting a 2-0 count, 17.9%. He has to get strike 1 in order to be effective. If he doesn't, he very, very quickly can lose hitters. He very, very quickly can lose his pitch count. And that's one of those games where he'll rack up 95 pitches by the 5th inning and then get yanked with 4 strikeouts or 5 strikeouts. So the Rockies, knowing Snell as a commodity here, they have seen him an ample amount of time. They're projected to have pretty much their regular lineup in here. It's just a tale of 2 extremes with Blake. 89th percentile whiff rating and a fifth. It's like 95% of pitchers are better at walk rate than he is. So 12.8 for the season. It's even worse when he faces teams that are better against lefties like the Rockies are. So this is probably one that I'm not going to decide until right before game time. I want to see the confirmed lineup here for this game. And the other thing that is playing potentially 2 and over is Ryan Blackney is behind the plate. He normally has a 6%-ish K boost for pitchers that are going when he's behind the plate. 23% strikeout rating, which is actually pretty high for umpires. Normally you see about 20.5 to 21%. So there are signs that would lead me to the over on this one. My problem here is that Jesus Christ, this guy can be wild. So there have been times where I just delete him from my spreadsheet and I just say, I don't want to have to deal with the fucking headache and the heartache of watching a Blake Snell start, because you will always be at one end or the other. There's no in between with this guy.
Yeah, and I've just done thrown him to the wolves, bro. I'm not going to be that guy anymore who just donates money to the Blake Snell Foundation and I get nothing back. I don't even got a cool little T-shirt that says I support the Blake Snell Foundation. Like, I mean, come on, what's the least you can do? But yeah, we got one more fucking game to talk about pitchers, guys. The best game of the day.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
You fucking know you have to have something with Vince Foley today, guys. At the end of the day, it's time for Dodger baseball. My little story that I heard last night that I've got to now share with you guys is how he came up with his daughter's name. Well, this guy always recorded the Dodgers, or they were the Giants back then, back in New York, because he's from New York, born and raised. He always recorded the Giants games and then would turn down the volume and re-announce them himself as a teenager. Like, he always wanted to be a broadcaster. This is something really he enjoyed doing. Well, he went on a date as a teenager. His dad walked by his room, seen the game on, and noticed that the record button wasn't going. Well, he pressed the record button in the second inning. That person he was on a date on, he ended up marrying. That person that he ended up having a kid with, they named Sandy, because Sandy Koufax that night threw a perfect fucking game. And is it a coincidence that his dad went in there and pressed that fucking recording button? No, the fuck it wasn't, guys. Everything happens for a reason. This man lived a beautiful fucking life, and he was one of the most respectful fucking men you'll ever come across. So shout out to a real one, and let's talk about another real one. My guy, Julio fucking Urias. His K-prop was 6 plus at minus 164. It moved to a minus 193, and his 7 plus is at a plus 122. When I go through his last 6, 8, and 10, nothing says 7 plus in there, guys. He's averaging 5 over his last 6, 5.6 over his last 8, and 5.9 over his last 10. Prize Picks does have him at a 6. I think they did move him to a 6.5 before this started, and they have his fantasy score at a 35.5. He's played the Giants now 4 times this year, including a back-to-back. No, not a back-to-back this year. This will be the back-to-back, technically a 10-game period, not a back-to-back. So he's played them May 3rd, June 12th, July 23rd, and now. Is that not a boatload of fucking times? Sure as fuck is. Well, let's talk about it. 7 straight games versus the Giants with a average 1 ERA going into this, guys. He's fucking owned the Giants. At the end of the day, this guy fucking owns this team, and he's getting the team fucking struggling, but not really by the strikeout numbers. If you look at that, oh, bullshit, I was just looking at the wrong page. Oh, yeah, they're struggling by the strikeout numbers. 9.4 walk percentage, that's good. They are striking out almost 26% of the time with a 227 average, 671 OPS, and an ISO of 130. He has not seen this team with a 26% strikeout percentage this year. All the other times when I look into the black book, number 43 in the black book, this says this is his layup spot, guys. So if this is the spot where he hits that 7 plus, this is it by the numbers. He's got 4, 10, and 5 versus this team earlier. And when he had 10, this team only had a 22.5 strikeout rate. He hasn't gone versus this team with more than a 24% K percentage all year, and they're just not hitting the ball. So this guy should be projected to be out there 6+ innings. And the way they're swinging, he should average over a strikeout per inning right now. We were on Heaney for a half unit the other day. Nice, easy fucking casher. And Julio Urias should do the same fucking thing, in my opinion. So have I bet him yet? No. Will I be? Yes. I just don't know if it's going to be a half unit dirty K. I did miss the fucking number, and that right there is enough to make me start being a little mad at myself that he was the last guy I capped, and he moved fucking from a minus 163 to a plus 122. So I want to bet the minus 163, But my book fucking hates me. And when I run through his math, he averages the same 8.5 strikeouts per 9 on the home or the road. He does dominate the left-handed side with a 10.8 K per 9 compared to just an 8 strikeouts per 9 versus the right-handed side. Giants are projected 7 right-handers and 2 lefties. Before you say anything about this man right here, and I know you might be on him because you might not be, but the Rockies game, something ticked off in my head. I forgot to say, Chris Bryant's on the IL. So that is one guy that is missing on their team. So, and that's a big piece. That guy is a stud on their team. So just had to throw that part out there because I know you were talking about, you thought their whole lineup was there. I know Bryant's out. So just a heads up.
All right. So with Julio, I have been on both sides for this guy. I've taken his over, I've taken his under, have cashed with both, missed a few times, but so when I look at Julio Urias, a couple things that I see. First, against the Giants' projected lineup, he has a 30.7% K percentage in 101 plate appearances. That is a big enough sample size to be significant. Normally, sometimes like if you see a stat that's like, oh, this guy's got a 40% K percentage against his team. Well, it's 4 Ks in 10 plate appearances. Like that's not statistically significant. 100, that is. So the other thing that I see with this one is, in addition to the dominance of the Giants that you noted, is when I look at the likely guys in the Giants lineup tonight in their K percentage since the All-Star break, and this is against all against all pitchers. So you have, a guy like Bart, 33.3%, guy like Villar, 37%. Lamont Wade Jr., 33.3%, so on. And so, Jock Peterson, who they didn't trade, 31.6%, Brandon Belt, 30 point. And I can go on and on and on, but all of these guys since the All-Star break are K'ing damn near between 25 and 30%. So to your point, if you just look at the average and think, well, why the hell is this guy getting this number, right? The multiple times against the team would be one reason, but then the reason why it's so high is exactly what you mentioned, is he has just absolutely obliterated this team. There are not many scenarios tonight where I could take the under here, even though it is, this is his 5th time facing him. There are not many scenarios where I could take an under here for this one because just watching the Giants and their swings, it just hasn't been pretty, especially since the All-Star break. So when you have, of the guys that you're going to potentially face, when you have over half of them since the All-Star break against all pitchers who have 25% plus K percentage, and over half of those are plus 30, over 30%, this is over or nothing for me.
Yes, sir. That's like that. Hey, man, fuck, I love having 2 people on here. You bring up shit I don't even fucking bring up. I just fucking love it. But at the end of the day, I really don't talk K-props with nobody else other than you. And it's just nice to have you on here because we actually talk instead of message back and forth, because we really don't talk, we message. So it's nice to actually hear shit. You get a whole other fucking, like, I'm writing shit down while you're doing it. I preach, bro. Like, we give out golden nuggets on this show. Like, I've been yelled at by other cappers saying I give out way too much information. And at times I feel like I do too, because then it's like, what do you need the show if we give you all this shit for? But it's fucking nice when people do give you golden nuggets like this man just dropped off, and like I do as much as I fucking can. But you got anything to let these people know, any type of play of the day, anything to say? Where can they find you before I get into these last few hitting props?
No, just at Spin Doc Sports, and I might have a public play for tonight. Have not decided on that one yet, and it all depends on how many total plays that I have. So chances are pretty good that I will have one. So like I said, just follow me at Spin Doc Sports. You'll see it tweeted. And then the other thing that you always get with me is I call it, my hashtag is understand the why. So always post detailed reasons for why I am taking a play. What I've actually started doing recently is I built this little spreadsheet calculator that actually goes hitter by hitter. And so you enter a bunch of percentages for how the hitter's been doing recently, how the pitcher's been doing recently. And just another way to look at it by trying to see which hitters in an actual lineup can I reasonably project. Yep, he'll strike out, he'll strike out, he'll strike out. He might, and these guys won't. But all of that gets posted when I post a public play. Basically, I want you to be in my head, seeing exactly what I saw when I capped it.
You're a good man, bro. At the end of the day, you give out a lot of information. I appreciate it. I've read a couple of yours, and I'm like, you're too nice. When you do lose a play, you give out a nice, like, right. Fuck you. I bet this shit, bro. Don't fucking come at me because I lost, bro. I bet it too. And I know you bet too, bro. You're just nicer about it at the end of the day. Don't come at me like, oh, you fucking, yeah, I lost, bro. You want me to show you that I bet more money on it than you did too, bro? Huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I bet every single play that I give out, 100%.
I know you do. At the end of the day, we've been doing this for a while. I know how much your unit size is. So, I mean, I respect you. At the end of the day, it's more than just your capping knowledge. I know what you bet. So, Until next time, and we need to bring you more often, my guy. I do appreciate talking fucking K-props. And now that I've cut out the other half of the side that I don't want to talk about, it's going to be a lot easier just talking pitching. So, have a blessed day, my guy.
You as well. Thanks for having me on, guys. Take care. Good luck.
Yes, sir. So now we get to talk some hitting props. We're going to talk about three main ones, and then we got to add in some doyers, right? Because why? Shout out to my guy, Big Show. If you don't notice, we are in Vin Scully's skybox, guys, where he called his very first fucking game. We're in it today, guys. We're in it. So we're in it to win it. Let's talk about some Dodgers. Mookie Betts versus Alex Cobb, 33 plate appearances. He's batting .333, 10 hits. 5 of them are extra base hits, 3 doubles and 2 home runs with 2 walks and 3 strikeouts in those 33 plate appearances. He has 11 hits in his last 8 days with 22 total fucking bases. Taking the fact that the Giants have the 30th worst bullpen over the last 30 fucking days with a 5.55 ERA. He's going to have multiple opportunities to cash for us like he cashed last night. Bad bullpen, all 9 at-bats on the road. This is going to be a sacrificing of the San Francisco Giants for Vin Scully tonight. Shout out to my guy, Noli Knows. Is it a coincidence that Vin Scully started as a Giant? They moved their franchise to the Dodgers. He called his last game Giants and Dodgers, and he happened to die when the Giants and Dodgers were playing themselves. Dude, there's just too many fucking shit happening that it's not a goddamn coincidence at the end of the day, bro. This is Dodgers Day. Julio Urias owns the Giants. They're going to go out there and win for Vin, baby. So, sorry to you Padre fans. It's our World Series now, bitches. So let's talk about, though, at the end of the day, I don't get why they're giving us 2+ bases is at plus 112 and his home run is at plus 500. Mookie Betts has 4 home runs since the All-Star break, 3 of them versus this Giants team. Just something about this Giants team gets his dick up, and he don't need Viagra, guys. And speaking of Dodgers, Trey Turner's 2+ at minus 102. Freddie Freeman's 2+ at plus 102. 2 guys on over 13-game hitting streaks that are just crushing the fucking ball. I don't get the fucking price tags on them right now. And once again, it's a bad fucking bullpen that the Giants do trot out. The fucking Dodgers are crushing right now. I do not want to get in front of anything not Dodger blue. Now let's talk about that Blake Snell, the fucking bomb, guys. So CJ Cron versus Blake Snell, 18 plate appearances. He's batting .471. Like I said, 15 plate appearances. I preach all the time. That's enough for me to say that it just wasn't one good game, one bad game. Okay, well, let's dig into those 18 plate appearances. He has 8 hits. 5 of them are singles, though, with 2 doubles and a home run, with 1 walk and 3 strikeouts. I love the fact he's only walked 1 time in 18 plate appearances against the wildest son of a bitch in the history of baseball. CJ Cron looking to swing the fucking bat at the end of the day, and I fucking love that betting on hitting props. Now, the problem is he has 5 fucking singles off of the guy on his 8 hits. Well, it's not a problem. When I went to go, I was like, okay, well, let's look at these Padres bullpen. I know it's been bad. Over the last 30 days, they're 25th with a 4.82 ERA, so the guy's got a good fucking numbers versus the starting pitcher. We got a bad bullpen. And this guy smashes righties better than he does lefties, and he has this good numbers versus this lefties pitcher. So there's multiple things that were like, oh, what's his 2 hits at? Let's go look at his 2 hits. His one hit is at a minus 143. Now, am I running to a fucking train? Yeah, maybe. Who knows? You're just going to have to get me. When you're batting 471 and 18 plate appearances, and you have the 25th worst bullpen coming in behind you, one fucking hit, CJ Crone? Oh, goddamn, get it, my guy. Minus 143, I'm on it, and I will be on the 2 hits at plus 200 just for a little bit. But his 2+ bases is at plus 116. His home run is at plus 400. I don't even care. Do whatever you want with that. His hit is minus 143, and the guy's batting 471. Whatever, bro. That's fucking that's 5 out of 10 times almost. Well, fuck yourself. I will bet that every time of the fucking day. So let's talk about one more before we dip out. Shout out to the 70 plus live. Smash the fucking like if you already haven't. It looks like most of you have, because we're already at almost 50. And let's talk about the polar bear himself, Pete Alonso versus Anibal Sanchez. Very small sample size, only 10 plate appearances. He has 5 hits, 1 double, 2 home runs. And this guy fucking crushes righties and lefties the same. His average goes up 30 versus righties from a 253 to a 283, but he hits 550 slugging and a 900 OPS both ways. 20 of his 27 home runs this year have been versus right-handed pitching, and his 2+ bases is at minus 134, and they put his home run at plus 200. You can go suck a dick on that one, books. You ain't catching me dead or alive betting some dude's home run prop at plus 200. Yeah, get on your knees with that one. Sorry, not sorry. Bullpen-wise, Nats have been 16th over the last 30 days with a 3.40 ERA, even though a lot of people are going to be like, well, the Nats pin sucks. They didn't fucking suck last night when I needed them to. And when you look at the numbers, actually, they have actually gotten better. So, yeah, at the end of the day, haven't bet a K-prop yet. I am leaning hard on Bassitt, Urias, and Ohtani. If I pull the trigger, I will post it on Twitter. I won't be shady. I am just got a little bit in each stomach going off against me about this, and that. And at the end of the day, I got to listen to myself. So shout out to you guys. Smash the fucking like if you haven't. Go on over to Prize Picks. Use promo code PubSports. Your first match deposit up to $100. They got you guys. So do me a favor. Go use that promo code. And I know most of you who can has already used it. And go use it in your wifey's name if you haven't. So till next time, let's keep fucking these bookies in the eye holes. Fuck the bookies.